Hey there! Today I have more features that aren't commonly known or used by Unity developers. This time, some editor magic. I'll talk about workspace organization, search, and a relatively new feature that makes it easy to select elements in the scene. But before we dive in, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. It really helps the channel grow. And now, buckle up. I'll start with something relatively new, but really awesome. You know what? A picture is worth 1,000 words, so let me just show you. I have a scene here with many UI elements, and let's say I want to change the text on this shop icon. I can search for it in the hierarchy, and as you can see, in my case it's easy. Only one item with that name is actually enabled. But let's be honest. Most of the time, you just start clicking on the canvas until you hit the desired object, right? For me here, reaching the text field takes 2 clicks, but you know the struggle. Unity 6 introduced another way. It's called the piercing selection menu. All you have to do is hold Command if you're on Mac, or Control on Windows and right-click on the element. This will bring up a menu with all the elements underneath the clicked area. Now I can easily select the text from the list. It works for Canvas, 2D, and 3D elements. So, if you're working with Unity 6 or higher, it's available to you. Another neat trick can help you arrange all the menus you have in the scene view. And it's super easy. All you need to do is hover with your mouse anywhere in the scene view while it's active and press the backtick symbol on your keyboard. This will open a menu where you can enable or disable various overlay menus. You can see that when I'm hovering with a mouse over a name, the menu gets highlighted in blue, telling us which menu we're talking about. I can enable or disable menus, and this includes both Unity's built-in overlay menus and custom ones. You can also create and load presets or disable the overlay altogether. Now, let's talk about object isolation. By now, you're probably familiar with the little icon in the hierarchy, but if you're not, it's pretty simple. You can hide elements from the work area without actually disabling the object. Take a look. I'm hiding this button and it disappears from the scene view, but if I switch to the game view, it's still there. This really helps with isolating objects you're working on without the risk of pushing disabled objects that are supposed to be enabled into production. But what if you want to isolate one specific object? You know, similar to how you can edit a prefab. Well, there's a trick for that. When any object is selected in the hierarchy, I can press Shift+H on the keyboard, and now everything is hidden except for the selected object. Because it's using the same hiding workflow, the game view remains unchanged. If I want to bring everything back, I can just press Shift+H once again. The next one is great, and it's a productivity trick. We're all familiar with the search field in the project window. We can search for assets using free text or by using search expressions. For example, some of you might use the UI here and search for sprites in the project. You can see that it's translated into T:\sprite, meaning search for assets of type sprite. You can pair it with free text, so if I want to search for sprites of flags, for example, I can add my search query to it and it'll work. There are predefined types and labels here in the UI, but you can use things that aren't listed here. But those are the basics, so you're probably familiar with them already. What's less known is that Unity took the search one step further. By pressing Command-K on Mac or Control-K on Windows, you can open a search window. Now, this search is able to search everywhere. It can search for assets in the project, it can search for objects in the hierarchy, it can search settings, logs, and whatnot. You can find the full list by pressing on the 3 dots icon here. And for the power users out there, it also includes the prefixes you can use when searching. So, for example, if I'm searching for a specific log, I can write log with a colon and then the log I'm searching for. Notice that it finds even those logs that aren't displayed in the console at the moment. Make a mental note about that one, it might save you some time in the future. When the search field is empty, you can see the history of your searches, which is clickable, and you can dive into the same search once again. But there's more. There's this plus icon. Pressing on it or pressing the tab key on your keyboard while the search input is active will open a menu with all possible filters. For example, I can search for missing assets. And here it is. It actually found multiple game objects in the scene that are missing something. Let's take a look. This image here is missing a sprite. Now, tell me that's not awesome. But there's something even cooler than this. Let's get back to the search window. If you want to, you can press the plus button once again and expand your search even further. But you'll probably figure it out yourself. By pressing this small icon, we can switch to text mode in the search. The pretty icons disappear and we can write everything manually. Now, even the search history is purely textual. Unity's search expressions support functions you can use, and they all listed in the documentation along with other useful stuff. Let's start with something easy and maybe not that useful. For example, I might want to know how many image components I have in the hierarchy. I start by writing count followed by a curly brace. This is a count function. Inside, I'll say that I want to count items in the hierarchy where the type is image. As you can see, I have 2,706 images here. Well, it's a demo scene from one of the assets on the asset store, so it's okay. I can expand the search and say that I'm interested in images and texts, so I can write a comma here and search in the hierarchy for a component of type Text Mesh Pro UGUI. Now we have 2 rows. But you know what? Let's do something more useful. Let's say I want to find game objects with an image component that references big textures. I start by specifying that I'm searching in the hierarchy for the components of type image. Those components should have a reference to textures whose width is bigger than 1024 pixels or whose height is bigger than 1024 pixels. This is a heavy query and this scene has a lot of images, so it might take a while, but in the end it will find multiple results. Now that it did, if I click on them, you can see that they actually reference big images. Take a look. And here's another one. Now this is truly awesome in my opinion, and I bet you can find even better scenarios. Feel free to share them in the comment section. By the way, I'll leave a link to the search expressions documentation in the description. The last one is probably better known than the others, but I still find a lot of people who aren't familiar with it. When I want to navigate a 3D environment in the scene view, apart from using the scroll wheel to zoom in or out, or the middle mouse button to pan, we can actually move the camera with our keyboard. If I hold the right mouse button, I can not only rotate the camera around, but also move with the WASD keys for navigation on the X and Z axis, and the Q and E keys for the Y axis. And if I hold Shift, the movement will be even faster, like running. I really love the search feature and the capabilities it brings, but to be honest, I haven't used it enough in the past myself. Anyway, thanks for watching. I have more coming, so hit subscribe and the bell notification icon so you don't miss it. Keep on creating, and I'll see you in the next one.